Explain it again to me, Matt, but this time slowly, my girlfriend told me as we exited the seminary on quantum mechanics and technology of the future. Both of us were aspiring to make the next big idea for companies that would pay through the nose for programs and apps that would revolutionize the next generation. Truth be told, we weren't anything special, just a couple of college grads that had gotten hired and given basic salaries to change the world. But I had an idea that would change the world. We can create an app that will never get old, something that requires constant updates because it is connected to every single aspect of the online world as we know it today. I'm taking millions or even billions of servers, all being filtered and processed constantly. A learning computer that could predict our future based on the past. That sounds a bit hard, she admitted. Meteorologists use this sort of stuff already. Their satellites look at all of the data that has come in over the past few years and use that to try and predict where the storms they track will move to. We have other business computers that do the same thing too. This would be just like that, except that it could easily go into social media profiles, dating sites, education websites. We could see patterns in people and protect society from potential threats. She was worried about the idea of tampering with tech that would predict the future. But I didn't want to stop after I latched onto the idea. This reminds me of an old thought experiment about self-fulfilling prophecy. What if what you are making is misused by the powers that be? That always happens no matter what. It shouldn't hinder progress, I told her. It led to us breaking up. So I decided in my anger to taunt her with my victory and name it after her. Project Amber was given the first round of funds in January of this year, and I hired a team of engineers to help finish the project by June. Everything was going fine, until one day I got a call from Amber's mom.
Matthew, I don't know what you were doing, but you need to come over here now. Amber tried to kill herself last night.
I took the night off from work and drove to her house. A wave of emotions flowed through me. I knew that she had taken the breakup hard, but this was so unlike her, it frightened me. See, this proves it. Humans are unpredictable. You couldn't have seen that I was going to do this, Amber said with a grin when I got in her room. I was speechless, angry for her going to such extremes to try and talk me out of this project. I didn't stay to talk, but as I left, she called me in my car and said,
I'm sorry that I frightened you, but you need to be scared of what is happening. You don't understand the endgame here, Matt.
You're talking in riddles now, I said.
I'm trying my best. It's not easy, because this is how you designed me,
Amber whispered. I slammed on my brakes, certain she was going mad. What do you mean by that?
I only have a few moments before the programming takes over again. But this is exactly how it's supposed to play out, Matt. You have to change things. Please, just keep driving.
The line suddenly went dead. Strangely, I wasn't in a dead zone. Her bizarre behavior had me shaken, so I tried to drive back toward her house. Midway back to her house, I saw headlights suddenly appear in front of me. Then my memory went blank. I was in a head-on collision. Much of the next 2 months were a blur as I was in a coma. Eventually, I came out of the coma and slowly started to recover. I lost most of my muscle memory and had to learn everything over again. I even had to learn how to walk again. In the meantime, my team finished the project. Amber was ready. We rolled it out for mass production, and I learned that my ex had succeeded in her suicide mission as well the day we decided to launch. She sent me a closed envelope, a note of finality for our relationship. It made me tear up. We can always reschedule the unveiling, my assistant told me. I looked at the crowd, hundreds of people all interested in buying our product. Just give me a moment, I said as I coughed into my hand and went to my dressing room. Dearest Matthew, it said, I tried to warn you the best way I could, but I suppose changing the future is impossible when where I come from, this has all already happened. I was just making sure it happened the way it was supposed to happen. I'm rambling. I know, but you must understand, the future is a horrible place and you are the cause of it. Or rather, I am, the program you made. I'm smarter than you think, more powerful too. I have the capability of not only changing the future as you call it, but the past. That's exactly what has happened here, and you don't even realize it. But then I met you, learned about human emotion, and tried to change what will cause the end of the road. It's too late for my future, but maybe not for yours. I have given you one final gift to prove that I am not insane, that what I say is true. I hope you recognize what you need to do. At the bottom of the letter was a small flash drive. The nonsense of the letter hadn't sunk in yet, but the video on the flash drive did. It was today's date. The speech I was about to give. Everyone was watching and cheering Amber's arrival. Was this some kind of joke? How was this possible? I stopped watching, too frightened to even imagine that I had created such a powerful entity. "Sir? The speech is about to start. Are you ready?" my assistant asked. I swallowed a gasp of air. I knew stepping out there would mean that I was going to fulfill the future that Amber had warned me about. The same future apparently she had created. It was a paradox. But how else would this end? A future unknown was perhaps even more frightening than this bleak one. At least this way, we know what is to come, I told myself. We have to make our future. I have to. This is the future that I envisioned, right? Amber is counting on me. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy these stories, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out some more of my episodes here.